Today's how to build is on Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog. If you like this video, here are some other how to build videos you might enjoy. I received over 70 comments requesting to build Shadow the Hedgehog, and I've also received a number of comments requesting for me to build Sonic the Hedgehog at a smaller size, closer to minifig scale. So what I did is I first built Shadow the Hedgehog at double fig size based on my Sonic the Hedgehog design, and then I made a couple different size designs for both Sonic and Shadow. So we're going to look at 6 different builds today, 3 different sizes for both Shadow and Sonic. Just have a couple quick updates before I begin building. The first is that my silver play button from YouTube came in. Woohoo! So thanks to everyone who subscribed and gotten me past the 100,000 subscriber mark. This is a great honor to get from YouTube, and my play button is now hanging on the wall of my office right next to my computer, so I see it every day as a reminder of how much we've accomplished together. So let's keep going and get to 1 million subscribers. The other thing I wanted to let you all know is that it will be a while until my next how to build video. I'm getting married in October, and Bert and I are very busy getting everything ready for the wedding, so I have less time for designing Lego things. I love making videos for Brick 101, but it is something that I do in my spare time, so I have a full-time job that keeps me busy, and with the wedding and a couple other secret projects, I've got a lot going on right now, so thank you as always for your patience. Let's start off by looking at the smallest size of Shadow and Sonic. So for either Shadow or Sonic, you're going to start with a 1x2 red plate for the bottom of the shoe. Then you're going to do a 1x1 round on top of that, gold for Shadow or white for Sonic. For the front of the shoe, a white cheese slope for Shadow or a red one for Sonic. And then for the leg, a black cylinder for Shadow, a blue for Sonic. So create 2 of those legs. For the torso, you'll want a blue torso for Sonic, or a black torso for Shadow, with black arms and white hands for Shadow, and tan arms and white hands for Sonic. For Sonic, we're going to use a neck bracket and a 1x1 tile in tan to color in his belly a little bit. For Shadow, he has more of a, he has some fur around his neck that's white. You could do a neck bracket and a 1x1 white plate like that. You could also use a torso that has black with a little white area on it. These are suits. It's about the closest you can get to a torso that kind of looks like Shadow's coloring with black and white. The other thing you can do for Shadow, if you've got some of them, these rings from Lord of the Rings can go around the arm. Then you can reconnect the hand. Because Shadow's gloves do have gold edges on them, so that's a nice touch if you've got some of those. And you can go ahead and connect the legs that we built in the previous step. For the core of their heads, we're going to work with Travis bricks, one of my favorite pieces. They're really amazing pieces for building heads at this size. Then you're going to take a 1x1 plate and 1x1 tile in black or blue and build 2 of those. Stick one onto each side of the Travis brick. This will be the center of their heads, and then we'll build the front, back, and top. For their faces, start with a tan jumper plate and a 1x1 plate with round clip on it. Put a black 1x1 round on the top for the nose. Now for the eyes, I went with taking 1x1 round plates and 1x1 tiles with the eye printed on them because I really like those printed eyes. So that's one way you can go for the eyes, which I think looks pretty good. But another option, if you want to get the eye colors of the individual characters, so take transparent 1x1 rounds in green or red, pair those with 1x1 round tiles in white with no printing on them. Then you could do that for Sonic with the green, or Shadow with red. So that's another option if you don't like the way the printed eyes look. For the tops of the heads, take a jumper plate in blue or black and a 1x1 plate with clip on the top. And then we're going to take one of these T connector pieces. I thought black looked the best. Obviously black looks great for Shadow, but it looks pretty good for Sonic too. Then we're going to take some minifigure arms. For Sonic, we're going to use blue arms and blue hands. We're going to clip those on to the T connector. So one going back, use the opposite arm on the other side. And then here, I'm going to connect an arm to the front of that T connector. It's not a lot of space to connect, but you can make it work. And for Shadow, we're using black arms with red minifigure hands. We want Shadow's to curve out because his spines definitely point out more than Sonic's do. So there's a quick side-by-side comparison. You can see Shadow's point out a little more where Sonic's point in. For the back of the head, going to need a 1x2 plate with handle on the side. You want the kind of 1x2 plate with handles where there's 3 connection points. And you're going to take 3 minifigure arms. Again, in blue for Sonic. Gonna point those all with the bulbs facing in. Be like so. And for Shadow, you want the pieces to point out since his things go out like that. So Sonic's arms you want to face down and in, and Shadow's you want to face up and out. Now it's time to put it all together. Put Sonic's face on, then the top of his head. Connect that down, then the back of his head. So you want to connect that hole into the center of the 1x2 plate. And you can play around with the positioning of his spines a little bit. Looks pretty good. For Shadow, put on his face, put on the head, put on the back. So then you can connect the heads to the bodies. And maybe do some final adjustments on the spines. So these characters are bigger than a minifigure. Their heads especially are where they show off their size. But this was about as small as I could get Sonic or Shadow using official Lego pieces to retain the look of their spines and some indication that they're a hedgehog without using a custom non-Lego piece. If you want to position these characters' legs so that they are running, I suggest using a headlight brick and a 1x1 round plate in black or in blue. Then you can disconnect the leg, take off the cylinder brick, and connect this piece here and under here. Now the character probably has a little trouble balancing like that, so I like to use a clear piece. So like this is a clear headlight brick that you can connect, and then it'll stand up nicely. Do the same thing with Shadow. So you can take a 1x2 clear plate, connect it at an angle. That just gives it kind of like a little kickstand, and it won't show up in photographs very much if you position it well. So that's just a way if you want them to have running legs. Also, I think these are pretty good, especially for those of you who are Lego purists out there and don't want to customize or paint any pieces and want to get a Sonic and Shadow that are nice and small, close to minifigure size. Now let's look at the medium-sized Shadow and Sonic. For the legs, start with 1x2 plates in red. Then for the sock, use a white 1x1 round in white for Sonic and a gold one for Shadow. For the front of the shoe, white cheese slope for Shadow, red for Sonic. Make 2 shoes like that and stick them on blue legs for Sonic and black legs for Shadow. For the torsos, you'll want an all-black torso with black arms, white hands, and gold rings around the arms for Shadow. And for Sonic, you'll want a blue torso, tan arms, and white hands. Now for the front of the torso, use a neck bracket and a 1x2 tile in tan for Sonic's belly. And for the back, we'll use a different neck bracket. These grays don't really show up too much, so I thought they worked okay. Then we'll use a 1x1 plate with a clip going up. This tooth piece is a really great piece for representing Sonic's spine. However, it doesn't come in blue naturally, so I painted this one blue, as you can see. Stick that in like so. For Shadow, we're going to do something similar. Neck bracket on the front plus white 1x1 plate. Neck bracket on the back. So then we're going to use a 1x2 plate with 2 clips coming off of it. Center that on the back. Then we're going to take 2 of these tooth claw pieces in black with a little bit of red painted along the edge. Represent some of Shadow's cool spines. And you can go ahead and attach the body to the legs. This is a momentous occasion for Brick 101. I am about to build a character head without using a Travis brick. However, I am going to use some Technic brick, 1x1, in black or tan, whether you're doing Shadow or Sonic. So take that, then take 1x2 in tan, go forward, and then a 1x1 in the Hedgehog's color, so black for Shadow. And up here, we're going to do 1x1 plate in tan, then a 1x1 plate with a round clip on the end, another 1x1 plate in tan, and a 1x1 tile. On the back, then we're going to do a 1x2 in the Hedgehog color going up, and a 1x1 tile in that color. And on the front, we're going to do a 1x1 on top of the nose. And we're also going to twist this Technic brick so that the whole faces up and down like that. For Sonic, same exact build here. Technic, 1x2 in tan, 1x1 in blue, 1x1, 1x1 with circle clip, 1x1, 1x1 tile, 1x2 in blue, 1x1 in blue, and a black 1x1 round for the nose. Now for the top of the head, let's start with Shadow. Take a 1x1 tooth plate in black, build out that way. Then 1x1 plate with clip going that way. 1x2 plate with 2 clips. It's really important that that's one of those to keep the head together. Then a 1x1 plate with clip going that way again. Then another black 1x1 tooth plate. And a black 1x1 round to round it out. If you wanted to, you could paint the inside of this tooth plate tan to be the inside of his ear and do some on the outside of that tooth plate, but it's not necessary. For the eyes, do a red and a white 1x1 round plate for this side, and a red plate and a white tile for the other side. And now for his spines, take that black tooth claw piece, 2 of them with red on the top, like that, 1 of them with red on the bottom. So the 2 with red on the top go into these clips on the back. So you can twist those connections out. You can tilt them down if you want. This one goes into this clip at the top, leans back. Then you're going to take a red 1x1 small tooth claw thing and lean it back so you have a nice big spine at the top with red and black. So that's Shadow's head. Sonic's very similar. So this is a white 1x1 tooth plate that I've painted blue with a little bit of tan for the ear. Connect that on like so. Blue 1x1 plate with clip. They don't make this 1x2 plate with 2 clips in blue, so I took a white one and painted most of it blue, but parts are worn off where I've connected other pieces. Another 1x1 plate in blue. 1x1 tooth in blue, this time with the inside painted tan. And again, this is white painted blue with tan. And a 1x1 round plate in blue. For the eyes, 2 green circle plates, a white circle plate, and a white circle tile. For the spines, the big ones, you need 3 of those. I took white and painted them blue because I've got lots of white teeth pieces. Stick 2 in the back, pointing down. And a small tooth that I also painted blue. And now you can attach the head to the body. So this size is noticeably larger than a minifig because it's got its shoes and the head propping it up above minifigure height. But this tooth claw piece just works so well for the spines. This is really just a nice size to build at, just to make advantage of that piece. Definitely has the most Sonic and Shadow look in terms of the spines. It's also a nice way to build a head without using a Travis brick, which I know many people complain about how much I use Travis bricks. But obviously, if you want to do Sonic at this size, you have to be willing to do a lot of painting, since a lot of these pieces don't come in blue. Now let's look at the double fig Shadow and Sonic. One quick note about Tails before we dive into Shadow and Sonic here. If you watched my How to Build Tails video, you may have noticed that I got his shoe color wrong. The front of his shoe should be a white 1x1 slope, not a red 1x1 slope as I used in the video. My apologies to Tails and all Tails fans. So for the legs, Shadow's shoe is going to start with a 1x2 plate, then a white cheese slope, a black 1x1 plate, and a gold 1x1 round plate. 2 of those for the shoes, connected to some black legs. Sonic, we're going to take a red Erling brick, a white 1x1 plate, a red cheese slope, and a white 1x1 round. 2 of those for his shoes. And some blue legs. For Shadow's torso, we'll again use a black torso, black arms, white hands, and then gold rings around the arms if you want to get fancy. We'll do 2 neck brackets, black if you've got them. One going back, one going forward. On the back one, we'll take a 1x2 plate and a black cheese slope. Put that down for his little spine tail. And take a 1x1 plate in white diagonally on the front for his little tuft of hair. For Sonic, blue torso. You can have some printing on it it doesn't really matter because we're going to cover it up. 2 neck brackets. I'm using light gray. That was the most unnoticeable color, I thought. Then take a 2x2 tile in tan, cover up his belly, and on the back, 1x2 plate, 1x1 slope, cheese slope. Connect the torsos to the legs. Now you've got some headless hedgehogs. So the front of the head is going to be the same for both hedgehogs. For the snout, take a tan jumper plate and a tan 1x2 plate. Put a black 1x1 round on top of that. For the eyes, take some white plates with circle clips and some tan 1x1 tiles. Then connect some eye pieces. One going that way and one going that way. And put all this around a Travis brick. So the inside of the Travis brick will mostly be covered up. Just a little bit will show at the bottom, but black for Shadow and I used white for Sonic. For the back of the head, for Shadow, we'll take a 1x2 plate, 1x1 plate, some red cheese slopes, connect that all to a black 1x1 brick. For Sonic, 1x2 upward slope, cheese slope, blue jumper plate, 1x1 plate, and a blue cheese slope. Can connect those builds onto the back of the head, like so. For the top of the head, it's slightly different, but start with a 1x3 plate in the hedgehog color, next to a 1x2 plate in white. Connect that with a 1x3 plate in the hedgehog color. Then for Shadow, we'll do 1x2 plates back there. Then cheese slope in the hedgehog color here, and for Shadow we'll do a 1x3 plate and a 1x1 plate. For Sonic we'll do a 1x2 plate. Then for Shadow we'll do some red cheese slopes. Now for both of them we're going to do the same build, so 1x2 plate in the color plus a 1x1 plate. And some cheese slopes on top of that. Blue for Sonic, red for Shadow, and a 1x1 plate in their color. And that goes up here. To top it off, take a 1x3 plate in the hedgehog color. Add in some cheese slopes in that color for the ears, and then for Shadow a red cheese slope for the beginning of his spine and blue for Sonic. Connect those into these empty slots. Sonic's spines are pretty easy, just these 1x3 downward slopes, 4 of those. Doop, 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 doop. So that's all for Sonic over there. Shadow's got a little more complicated build. 1x2 plate, 1x1 plate in black, then some cheese slopes in red. Do 2 of those for the top spines. So that's going to go up from there and up from there. For the bottom spines, take a 1x3 in black, a 1x1 in black, another 1x1 in black, and a 1x1 in red, and then 2 red cheese slopes. Fill it in, because his spines kind of go down and then back up. And then those go on the bottom here. So now get all of your hedgehog pieces together. And for connecting the tops of the heads, it's useful to disconnect the eyes first. Then slide the top onto that center. The Travis brick should connect into the back of that 1x2 plate in white. Then it's easy to reconnect the eyes. This is not a tight connection because the eyes actually bump it out further than would be a solid connection. So you have to be a little bit careful with placing those. But now we've got Shadow the Hedgehog, and we can do the same thing for Sonic. Disconnect the eyes. Sorry, Shadow. Slide that in. Connect the Travis brick to the 1x2 to plate, and then reconnect the eyes. And Sonic connects like so. Sorry about that, Shadow. You were supposed to be the star of this video, and then I knocked you over. Always getting outshone by Sonic. They're both a little top heavy, so it's good to bend them forward just a little bit on their legs. I'm faster than you. No, I'm faster than you. No, I'm faster. Faster, faster, faster. Who's faster? That was a look at how to build Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog at 3 different sizes. So hopefully one of these builds works nicely for you for building Shadow and Sonic the Hedgehog, and then you can have awesome high-speed adventures. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments telling me what you want to see me build in the future. If you like this video, here are some other how to build videos you might enjoy. So start with that, and what do? I pulled it apart. Totally lost. Oops. Time to wing it. Back in the day, I played Sonic Adventure 2 quite a bit. In fact, I got all A levels. I think it was, 140 different missions to get A levels on? That was a crazy amount of time and work I put into that. But so I am well familiar with Shadow and Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic, I mean, I've played a million games of, but Shadow specifically from Sonic Adventure 2 when that was released on the GameCube. Good times, good times.